Hello again and welcome to another Beyond All Reason video. Today we have a 3v3 on Acidus Crack. This video was actually given to us by LSR, who said it was a very good game, a lot of back and forward, so it'll be interesting to see what happened. As we zoom in here on the 7 team, we have Plaka playing Armada in the northernmost position for his team. In the front for his team, also as Armada, going bots is Iziard. And then below in red, we have another Armada for Malady. Meanwhile, on the north side team, we have Dylan in green playing as the Cortex. No factory as of yet. We have someone who somehow managed to name themselves the Scavenger Defense AI. I'll just call them Scav from now on. As Cortex vehicle. And lastly, we have LSR as Cortex vehicle as well in the dark blue. So we have a full Cortex versus full Armada matchup here. So we'll get to see how both factions play against each other. For the 7 team now, quickly switching over, we have vehicles for Malady, bots as we mentioned for Iziard, and Plaka vehicles. So we have a double vehicle bot and a double vehicle bot on the north side as well. So both teams picking the same factories, just in slightly different positions. Now, what about this map? We've seen this map before on the channel a couple of times actually. As mentioned before, there are a few starting positions that could have been chosen instead of where they've chosen, and that is on this triple mechs at the back, or if you were going for an air start, you could start up on the hill. Now this hill is pathable by bots, so that's just something to be aware of. This tick from Iziard looking to get a metal extractor, but unfortunately doesn't, because Scav manages to get the repair on there. And some early bot dueling there between Malady and LSR. LSR unfortunately on the bad side of that trade there, as his last scout has left health remaining. And anyway, going back to it, yes, so this hill on the top side is passable by bots, so yeah, you can't, the 2 vehicle players are not going to be able to get up there, but the bot player will. And as we can see, Dylan here has gone up to the top as well for his player. LSR capping the mexes at the back for his team and is ahead on that front when you compare it to Malady's team. And we're just going to zoom out again. And oh, actually, Dylan manages to stop the scouts getting past 2 left. There's also a pawn that's gotten through here. Trying to get both of them in view here. Scouts do not manage to get a metal extractor, but these pawns will do some decent damage here. 2 pawns managing to get through, absolutely destroying a Scav's starting base. Scav with 0 energy left after that, only a single metal extractor, and also not able to chase down. About to lose an engineer as well. Bit of a mistake there from Scav. Manages to keep the construction vehicle alive though. That was a bad trade there from Scav. Not looking good at all, but instantly given some wins by his teammates, so that is all good. Now, about this map, what we're going to see here is Dylan's probably going to go around the top, pushing down the bottom. He can use these hills to his advantage because he's gone bots. Scav is going to try and hold this section in the middle, and then LSR is going to go around the bottom. LSR though having to move his commander to help defend. Scav is opening up his side to attack. As we can already see, there's a scout and 3 blitzes along the bottom side, just outside of LSR's base already. So blitzes into grunts here. Blitzes will trade quite favorably if they can get into range. However, right now, Scav manages to pull back. Scav not really with the forces here to defend against Iziard, but does have that single pounder. As long as the forces do not get around that pounder, he will be okay. Pounder's very good against dealing against grunts or pawns. LSR trying to build a bit of a front line down here, but he's desperately trying to help Scav here rebuild very quickly, using his commander just to push out as many units as possible very quickly. Nice bit of D-guns going off here. Blacker and Scav managing to stop each other pushing into that point. We do have a great push though on the north from Dylan here. I'm going to try and make sure I catch everything as possible, but obviously a lot's going on. LSR loses his forces. At the same time on the map you see there's another push here from Iziard with the forces of Malady. They've not quite engaged yet as we keep an eye on Dylan's forces here. Dylan trying to flank Blacker's commander. This could be dangerous now. Dylan pinging, saying that he's going in on the commander. Decides not to. Meanwhile, LSR being forced back here. Bit dangerous. Meanwhile, this pounder was trying to defend. Flacker's comm in danger, surrounded. Scav using his comm here to try and get rid of the LLTs. Flacker with the D-guns off. Only one grunt left. Flacker survives with 13% health. That is very, very close. Flacker just surviving. Meanwhile, I hear shooting somewhere. Oh, it's here. LSR now in danger himself. Huge amount of pawns coming straight for him. LSR looks like he's going for a self-destruct here. Takes that massive army with him as well as Iziard's commander. And there's a construction bot right there all ready to get all that reclaim. Meanwhile, there's a huge amount of forces pushing in here. Scav has let some of Flacker's units past. Hopefully they should get mopped up pretty quickly. Malady doing their best to stop the reclaim and does manage to get the construction bot that's there. Some of Malady's bots get through here. Blitzes get through and are absolutely destroying Scavenger's eco yet again. It's not looking good. At the same time, LSR has done a push on the bottom here as that top side gets cleaned up. This push will get cleaned up as well from LSR. Unfortunately, only able to get a couple of metal extractors. Not really able to accomplish too much, but does reset the focus at least a little bit. Meanwhile, those blitzes that went in did a substantial amount of damage yet again to Scav, forcing LSR to cover half of the map for his team here. And not going well. Malady's comm really out on his own right now. This could be dangerous. Manages to push forward on his own. Great holding of the res field right now. Scav moving his commander back to try and get that reclaim. There is a res bot there as well that should deal with that. Malady is aware that he's made a hole in LSR's defenses and is going to push through these 13 blitzes. But with main tanks out on the field now, they should be able to hold at least that middle front line quite well. It seems that LSR has been gifted a substantial amount of grunts here by Dylan. Dylan not really expanding too much on the north, not really putting too much pressure into Flacker right now. Oh, well played by Malady, managing to slip the scouts, not scouts, the stouts blitzes through that middle hole. Malady's commander does get exposed though. Unfortunately, that won't be enough grunts to take him out as he's left with 11% health. Malady just surviving. Blacker's comm is up at 60% health, but this is now dangerous for Malady. Blitzes are coming in. They are very grouped up, though. This could be D-gun waiting to happen here. No radar on this south side, though, so they can't actually see him. That's construction bot managed to get a radar up. It would be in a good situation. Scav managed to get all the reclaim. They do find the commander. Malady's comm goes up in smoke as well, leaving the 17 with a single commander left. Although at the same time, Dylan, massive hole in his defenses as a huge chunk of blitzes here managed to come through the front line. LSR putting pressure on Malady on the south side at the same time, but this is the most important bit here. Huge economy damage here by Dylan, causing massive problems to Dylan's economy. Going into LSR's economy as well on the back line. Only 3 blitzers left, but we'll be able to do a little bit of damage at least. Managed to take out 2 metal extractors, and that'll be it from that push. LSR doing a great job at holding down the southern side, being supported well by his teammates. Unfortunately, he might need some more units. Top team trying to decide who actually has the last commander on the enemy team. They've already got the reclaim as well. Great reclaim. Scav using his comm very aggressively here. But we are seeing some Janus and Stout Balls appearing on the left here of the screen. That is dangerous for Scav's commander. And they are trying to push in on him now with those Januses. Whistler's here actually on this north side. We've not been here for a while. Slowly whittling down Dylan's defenses. Whistlers and Januses. Great tank trades on this bottom here. A lot of stouts. A lot of stouts. Scav, even though losing his economy multiple times, has done a great job at staying in the game here. Although Dylan maybe have made a bit of a mistake here. Dylan sending all of his forces round this way, leaving it completely open straight towards the base. Scav deciding to go into the fight here, managing to take out a good amount of the Januses, getting a couple of stouts stuck. Horns get mopped up very quickly, and this is a very advantageous trade here for Scav. He's got backup in sizes just behind. Pushing into the defenses now. At the same time, got to quickly switch over in a second to this massive army pushing down the north. And great job, Scav there, causing some problems. And look at this massive force of grunts. 29 grunts running straight for Flakker's commander here. Not really any forces to defend. Flakker's going to have to get some great D-guns off here to try and survive. And Dylan actually not going in on that? Wow, that's surprising. Meanwhile, though, Dylan holding off with a big group of forces against this massive amount of Whistlers. Just using grunts to shield right now. Not really able to get close enough to take these out. Blitzes coming in are going to help. But running into that wall of beamers, not ideal. He does manage to get a bit of economy damage though. All of the expansion of Flakker has been taken out. LSR managing to push back, get a decent amount of economy on his side now. Got a big chunk of forces as well. Scavenger kind of given up on helping Dylan on this north side of the crack, and is just holding the bottom side. There's a huge amount of reclaim here though. 2.2k reclaim on this bottom side. Dylan saying that he needs help. Yeah, well, not so good trade here with LSR. Maybe making a bit of a mistake, going in a bit too harsh. Manages to get 2 construction vehicles and a resbot, but does lose his entire force for that. Maybe this hero incisor gets the last construction vehicle as another one turns up. So I would argue that the 7 team is doing a great job raiding, and they've done huge amounts of economy damage to Scav. But by losing their commanders, the 7 team has basically given all of that economy damage back and just given the North team all of the resources needed by giving them 3 commanders worth of metal. So I'd say they're in fairly even terms here. When we look at just the raw stats on the side, they're both fairly similar. We can see Scav building a bit of a bomber force right now. Quickly, whilst there's no action going on, check the stats here. We can see units killed, 283 for the North team. But the most important thing here is metal produced. Bottom team is, sorry, the North team is 1k metal, actually very similar metal. Yep, there's only like 300k in it. So, very, very close. The Orange team is having some good push into the base of Dylan and Scav here. Scav kind of needs to assist, but instead he's choosing to help assist LSR right now. Using scouts well here to try and soak up some of the Janus shots and get close to the Januses, causing friendly fire. And Dylan is making Scav aware that Whistlers are there and that will cause issues for the air, because obviously Whistlers have AA. Scav moving in here to try and help LSR's tanks. Unfortunately, there's such a huge amount of units here that Scav's and LSR's tanks are just taking massive amounts of flanking damage. And all of this reclaim is going to the bottom team here, but the scouts come in. Seems they're going for an economy damage here rather than a snipe. And here we go. Yellow's economy takes huge damage. What a beautiful bombing run. Basically, all of the wind of Yellow goes up. Malady's wind now taking the brunt of it. Corner wind from Flakka gets targeted as well. This is huge amounts of energy damage being dealt. And this is going to put the 7th team on the back foot substantially. Not looking good for the 7th team. Malady basically wiped back to the Stone Age. Nothing left on Malady's front. He has very basic. So he has some construction, but no energy at all. And the bombing run goes in, hits the energy converters for Flakka as well. But Flakka, luckily enough, does have 3 advanced solars. Huge amount of reclaim on this north side here, 2.3k. Dylan finally goes in on this Whistler army here with the assistance of, well, just himself. Flakka doing a great job holding this far forward. Dylan unable to push in. LSR's tanks get surrounded yet again. But do we see now any transitions to Tech 2? No. No transitions at all. Scav does need to help on this north side here against Flakka. This is a bit too close to their front line. And as the tanks roll in, these construction vehicles get taken out. No more beamers. There is a lot of beamers though on this north side. Scav using his comm very well here to get all this reclaim. And that has pushed Flakka back. At the same time though, Iziad has now pushed forward on the southern side. And surprisingly enough, Malady seems to be holding okay as well. LSR seems to be maybe taking this time to hold out for a little bit. Also, LSR has transitioned to bots away from vehicles. Scav's commander in a bit of a somewhat risky spot here. Trying to get rushed down by the blitzes, but there's too many grunts there to hold out against. And economy-wise, yet again, both teams are equal, even with that massive bombing run that just happened. Not much change. Also, no T2 at all from either team yet. Dylan actually going for a 3rd bot lab. The Dragon Claws pop up here. Great against small clusters of units as the lightning arcs. Actually seeing Iziad switching over to some artillery. which will definitely keep stuff at bay. Huge amount of shurikens have also been built, which will do nothing against all this Whistlers. And LSR actually thinking it's GG here, even after that bombing run. Tech 2 being built by Flacker as well at the same time. Scav pushing in again with these blitzes. The huge grunt army on the north trying to do something here. Scav pushing right in here. Not really able to get any army damage here, but he's definitely successful at taking out the beamers. Meanwhile, LSR is massing a huge army of grunts. And yet, Scav, again, no army damage, but successful at pushing back and taking back some ground, which is very important. The huge amounts of shurikens here will do some problems for this southern army. Still, the northern army has a lot of Whistlers, which isn't really going to cut it. And right now, the north and southern flanks have mostly been left alone here. Great attack yet again. Good teamwork from both Scav and Dylan. Managing to try and get close to this army again, using the grunts to kind of field damage in the front here for the blitzes. Sorry, brutes. Shuriken's coming in as well. I don't know if this is necessarily the right call here with all of the Whistlers. He actually decides to pull them back. Brutes managing to get through, and is now going to get some good economy damage on this north side as they probably pull back. Just eating all of the resources that are there. And with Tech 2 now on the field, North team still not gone Tech 2 at all. LSR actually building mine layers, because, you know, LSR loves those memes. Shuriken's now also out from Malady, from a surprising captured, or resurrected, sorry, construction bot or something from the North team, because you've got to remember, the Southern team is all Armada. Yet he's got scavengers, not scavengers, he's got Vortex. And Malady is actually transitioned purely over to Vortex units. Oh, the Whistlers get trapped. LSR's huge grunt force go in on Flacker and his base. And unfortunately, a lot of them are getting lasered, EMP'd rather. But the Whistler army is taken care of now, and Flacker's left with no units. Dylan going full in here, but this may be just a huge donation of metal, unless he can actually get through and cause some more damage. Scavengers pushing in as well. Massive red army, though, right outside of the North team's base. Not able to stop the Tech 2 being built. Jaguars are coming out, it seems. Yep. They're desperately trying to do damage down onto Flacker's base here. This Tech 2 lab will not survive. Flacker's comm in danger. Flacker with a great D-gun. Another great D-gun. As the Shurikens come over here and manage to save the day. Flacker being the last comm here, only at 56% health. Destroying his own lab here, actually, by accident. And Malady saving the day here with bringing his huge army back and stopping the push into Flacker's base. Flacker's comm being super exposed. LSR now pushing into Malady, knowing that his forces are not in a position to defend. This is such a back and forth here. LSR doing a great bit of economy damage here, just taking out as much as he can. Shurikens can get shot down fairly easy by grunts, but he does not have enough grunts to shoot down all of those shurikens. That's a huge amount of grunts there, though, that just got neutralized. 54 grunts. Now they're only 45 grunts, all neutralized with those shurikens. Great use of shurikens there. Desperately asking for fighters to come and save some of them, but unfortunately he has lost the element of surprise. And the fighters also get shot down before they're able to do anything. And that push by LSR gets mopped up pretty quick. It's a small push from Malady on this north side. Not really anything to worry about too much. Do we see any Tech 2 yet from the north team? We see Scav has gone T2 vehicles. LSR still built some mines. Oh, and a gauntlet actually also built in the middle here, which will keep LSR back. The shurikens here basically saving the day for red team. And now we go into a bit of a quiet period, it seems. Both teams trying to eco up a little bit. Blacker hasn't been able to get out a spare Tech 2 engineer for the rest of his team. And he did lose his entire army, so that does make sense. However, he could do with some assistance. And surprisingly, Dylan thinks they're on the losing end right now. I would say it's the other way around. More shurikens on the way. Might be worth LSR mixing in some AA bots in with those grunt swarms. That is not enough grunts to deal with it. Trying to pull the fighters in. There's AA in that army. And actually a fighter got EMP'd there, which is interesting. Yeah, fighters aren't really cutting it, it seems. And this is a good push from Malady here. Able to cause some problems. Surprising that he's managing to push this far forward. Iziod has just some Janisses in the back to support. Oh, that was potentially dangerous. A huge grouping up of the shurikens there. Pushed right back to LSR's base. LSR needs some assistance here. Surprisingly, no air defense being built in this base at all. Now just starting to be built. Dylan pushing in with such a huge force of grunts. He is not able to stop that, although Dylan falling back. Tech 2 amphibious tanks being built there. Don't see those very often. Oh, and Tech 2 artilleries. Quakers. They'll do some good harass. Although there's still a big hole in LSR's front line. LSR definitely going to lose that construction vehicle. Bear in mind, these are all resurrected tanks, mostly. Just shows the power of resing now. Dangerous now. Getting into LSR's base. We need these shurikens. Shurikens on patrol rather than actually doing much. Oh, Malady turns around. Wow, okay. Malady turning around there, missing an opportunity to just pile into the back. That was a missed opportunity there. A lot more economy damage could have been done if he wouldn't have turned them around. And that force there is... well, does actually get the energy converters. Will not get the Tech 2 construction vehicle here that's been gifted to LSR. But we do see a bit of a harass continuing in the hole that's already been made. Scav really needs to try and help defend. Wind is dead at the moment, he's saying. No energy left. See, this North team has no solars at all. They just relied purely on wind. Yeah, this North team now on the defensive completely. Blacker has still not gifted Oh, he's gifted one Tech 2 engineer to Iziad. But Malady still on Tech 1, not gifted anything yet in terms of Tech 2. Whereas on the north side, we can see just Tech 2 for LSR, no Tech 2 for Dylan just yet. Trying to force out a fusion right now. I'd say LSR is in danger here. With this big army on this north side, it cannot get to LSR's base in time. Dylan now notices that and is desperately rushing his units over to try and help. And here comes that push that we mentioned. This is a big group of units here. 37 ticks in that mix here to soak up some damage. Still no more shurikens. Both players have basically stopped with air now. And surprisingly, the res units there managing to hold the line. Iziad just purely pushing out spam. Seems that, no, sorry. Let me rephrase that. Malady pushing out spam. Iziad is actually going Tech 2 and has not got much units on the field right now. LSR kind of in the same boat here. Doesn't actually have many units on the field whatsoever. Desperately just trying to hold on to his base right now. He had to move his factory back, so he doesn't have any construction turrets on that. This army actually might make it through. Ticks do an annoying amount of that work here. But most of the army is destroyed and just ticks left. Now what Dylan's doing here is he's actually gifting a lot of units to his allies. So like all of these grunts that you can see here are all been gifted by Dylan to Scav. And it does help a lot when you're like obviously trying to defend on this bottom side here. And that's where Dylan's attention is. Just gifting your teammate your units so that they can use them for whatever they need to is sometimes very useful. So Dylan is missing an opportunity here though. If he just sent a good group of units back round here again to harass Flakka, like he's given them basically control of, you know, well, there's 3 Tech 2 metal extractors right there with 0 defenses on them. But his attention is purely focused on trying to save LSR right now. LSR going Tech 2 bots. Fiends will do a very good job at defending against this spam. Dylan given LSR those units again as mentioned before. Not enough tigers here to deal with those bulls, and that tiger actually gets stuck. You should self-D this if you ever get the chance. Yep, there we go. Trying to deny the metal, fortunately. Yeah, well, it does go. Good. So right now, this is anyone's game. There were some great raids and damage dealt by the North team. Huge bombing wave also about to come in. No fighters left at all. That huge army of Dylan's gets destroyed. Scav's base about to be in danger. Misses the fusion. And unfortunately doesn't do too much there on Dylan either. Does manage to get Dylan's air, like wind generators on the top of the hill there. And at the back. LSR with decent AA up right by now, but looks like they're coming in now for that fusion. Will the fusion survive? Oh, they actually target the winds instead. Decent amount of wind damage there. LSR's base basically untouched though from the air raid. A little bit of wind damage, but not too much on LSR's front. Just needs to quickly rebuild. Scavenger took the brunt of that. And Dylan actually, yeah, did lose all of his energy production. So So Dylan now reverted to the state Malady was in. This Tech 2 push from LSR. Sorry, against LSR. LSR still unable to get any Tech 2 units out here. He has got one of his cheeky strats here, the Spectre bot. If he can get some EMPs off on them, he can do some big damage. Question is if he can get close enough. He built the walls here purely for that purpose. Oh, that's cheeky. I hope, LSR, I hope for you this works. Oh, lovely EMP. Will it last long enough, though? That is another question. Unfortunately, it seems the Jaguars are doing a decent job of mopping up those and will not suffice. Another EMP goes off. Managed to just hold Iziad there for now, at least. This one sumo is not going to be enough to hold up against Iziad's tanks. Malady's been out of it for quite a while. Is instead actually on the north side. Huge fight going on this side over here. Lots of Tech 2 defenses already up. Look how quickly these pop-up Gauss turrets are going up. And the sheer spam of grunts here is not going to really do enough. Rapid fire artillery. Tremors. Fairly decent against ticks, I guess, but... Now, this is exactly what I mentioned before. Look at this push from Malady on this north side. Nothing there to defend right now. They're going to get that Tech 2 construction vehicle and the Tech 2 metal extractors that are there. And this is something that Dylan should have probably done sooner. Focus too much on defense. Right now, LSR's trying to get a bit of a Sheldon ball going, but it's not going to be enough. I am surprised at seeing so many tremors out. You don't often see tremors. As a delaying tactic, I guess. You're trying to just saturate an area so enemies can't walk into it, but... yeah. Exactly, lol. I mean, against all these scouts, I guess it may work. Bit of a lull point again. North team been pushed back. This grunt spam isn't quite working out for him, though. Yeah, bear in mind the south team only has flak as comm. It's 2 comms to 1 right now. Huh. Defo in that circle. Yeah, he is in that circle. Oh, Scaff is trying for a nuke. Does this team have an anti-nuke? They do. Ain't gonna work. Wow, this rapid fire artillery is actually doing a fairly decent job at slowly pushing back this team. The flank damage here being done by Malady. These Jaguars are stopping the grunts from being able to block this push. Great combined force here. And this is actually going to do a significant amount of damage to Dylan here. Dylan with nothing left to stop this attack. Uh-oh. This is all of Dylan's energy gone again. Dylan, yeah, use your commander. Prep that D-gun. Oh, that's actually Scavenger's commander. Okay. Oh, lovely D-gun. All the danger gone straight away. Oh! Dylan gave his commander to Scav because Scav had the energy for the cloak and the D-gun. And then Scav gifted it back. That was great teamwork there. Absolutely great teamwork. And these Tremors actually, yeah, doing a surprisingly good job at just forcing Iziad back. Oh, right, yeah, but Starlights is going to kind of counter that. These Grunts unable to do anything against this Northern Jaguar push yet again. Dylan having more issues energy-wise. Scav desperately trying to hold the middle, but Starlight's outrange anything that he's got. The nuke has been built. Not ready just yet. They're going to need some form of scouting. 2 anti-nukes now up as well, but that nuke is pretty much pointless. Scav needs to turn around and go on those Jags. LSR also starting to get a bit of a Sheldon ball up. All the forces that were on LSR's side have been forced north. He needs some radar jamming in with that Sheldon blob. Unfortunately, he doesn't have it yet. Take 2 radar, take 1 radar jammer. And lots of fighting going on across the map here. Scav trying to push into this fortified position here. Does manage to get some of the economy damage there. Not economy, army damage. But not really anything to talk home about, because he's not going to get that reclaim. Northern side here, even more dead army units up here. 4.3k of metal there. Those Jaguars are just completely countering Dylan's Grunts. That is not enough Jags versus the other Jags there. Dylan needs to kind of switch it up his tactic, I think. Not really doing much. Great slow push here from LSR though. Scouts come in. Did they see the nuke? Yes. Dylan about to give all of his energy to metal to Scav from all of this reclaim that's coming in. We'll select Dylan here. He's moved his share slider down, right down, so he's just basically saying, hey, you're about to get a shit ton of metal. Prepare for it. North team has great teamwork, I'd say. LSR slowly pushing out here. Applying more pressure. Is he not really reacting? He's sending some more units back over. Nuke goes off. Anti-nuke intercepting. And unfortunately, Scav did not scout before the nuke. Nuke is pretty much worthless now. Jaguar's pushing in on this Sheldon ball as well. Able to do a substantial amount of damage here. Trying to use the... unfortunate. He tries to use the self-destruct there to get damage done on those things. Good push again from Dylan now on the north side. Managing to get some Tech 2 economy damage. Gets 1 Tech 2 metal extractor. Will probably at least get 1, maybe 2 more. Bulls are desperately rushing in, as well as some Jaguars. Yep, gets 2 more, so that's 3 Tech 2 metal extractors down just for some Grunts. Not bad. Huge amount of artillery use on this 7th side here. Iziad really not happy about Tremors. And here come the Jaguar push on the south side. 35 Jaguars. LSR does manage to spot it. And he does have some Spectres here, they're cloaky bots, which will provide some help. Oh, Scav is planning on nuking a front line. This is going to be a bit of a problem. They managed to get the Tremor. Oh, yep, they do. And now this is looking dangerous. EMP bombers. All of LSR's units get caught out. What the fuck just happened there? I somehow completely missed whatever the heck just happened there, and Scav's base gets absolutely obliterated. And with that, the North team is going to be destroyed here. Scav was their main powerhouse, and with his entire base gone, LSR's front line has crumbled. And the North team is calling GG. LSR's base completely gone. Dylan's comm, the only one left. And wow, that turned very quickly. Well played to the Southern team here of just not giving up. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. It must have been something to do with these air transports, but I completely missed whatever it was. And yeah, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this very interesting 3v3. And I'll see you guys next time.